Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Master Computer Science subject. Today in this video we are going to begin the discussion of the third phase of the compiler design, which is semantic analysis. Till now we have seen lexical analysis and the syntax analysis. By the way, we learned how to build top-down parser and bottom-up parser with the suitable examples. So from this video onwards we are going to concentrate on the third phase of the compiler design. To begin with, we are going to learn what is syntax-directed translation. From the name itself, we can understand a lot. Syntax, you know, what is the syntax of programming language? Every programming language, we have to learn first a syntax to write a program in that. So that syntax is directing to perform some translation. Okay, how to perform syntax-directed translation? The most general approach is to construct a parse tree. In fact, the construction of parse tree is happening in the second phase itself, which is syntax analysis. Or you can call the parse tree as syntax tree also. Then need to perform a walk on the tree. I mean, the tree is to be traversed to compute the values of attributes by visiting the nodes of the tree. Already we are aware there are nodes in the tree. What is this attribute? Right? All these things we will see in this video. There are two classes of translations, S attributed translation, L attributed translation. I want my viewers to be aware of these terms. That is why I am introducing this now. Okay. Now we try to understand what is syntax directed definition. In short, we can call it as SDD also. How do you define it? SDD is nothing but the context-free grammar with attributes plus semantic rules. You can remember the definition in a simple manner like this. Okay, so there is a context-free grammar. Every context-free grammar contains one or more production rule, and it contains variables and the terminal. Every variable or non-terminal can be further explained with attributes. Okay, and for every production rule there is an equivalent semantic rule. So that's why it is given here. Attributes are associated with the grammar symbol. Grammar symbol here is nothing but the non-terminals, and the semantic rules are associated with every production rule. For example, let us consider this x dot a. X is a non-terminal in the grammar. A is the attribute which further explains what this non-terminal is about. So x is a non-terminal and A is its attribute. In general, there are two types of attribute. We can call it as synthesized and inherited attributes. Later we see the definition of this. Now we see an example for SDD. So this is an example for SDD. What is SDD? Syntax directed definition. So we are going to write the syntax directed definition for this context-free grammar. This context-free grammar is nothing but the expression grammar. But we know this grammar already. A derives E plus T, E derives T, T derives T star F, T derives F, F derives E, F derives ID, F derives digit is given here. Digit is nothing but an integer value. Apart from this rule, there is one more rule. By the way, L becomes the start symbol of this grammar. L derives EN. What is this N? This N is nothing but the N marker. Normally, after writing an expression, for example, you take C programming language, we will end with a semicolon, right? That semicolon indicates the end of that expression. So this N is nothing but the end marker of the expression. So this is a given grammar. We are going to understand what is SDD from this given example. So the grammar is given. One side we have written the context-free grammar. Another side we are going to write the semantic rules. So how do we write the semantic rules? So let us start writing the rules from the last one. F derives digit. It means F takes a value of the digit, and this digit value is supplied by the lexical analysis. Because during the lexical analysis phase itself, the information of identifier, constant, all those things are inserted into the symbol table. So during the third phase, when the translation is happening, those values are fetched from the lexical, supplied by the lexer. Already it is available in the symbol table. That is why here I am mentioning that digit is nothing but a lex value. So f takes a value of digit and this digit value is supplied by the lexer. What is the next rule says? F is defined with the attribute value and f value is nothing but the value of e. In fact, I have to write equal to symbol. F value is nothing but the value of e. So let us move on to the previous rule. What it says? The value of t is nothing but the value of f. The value of f is being assigned to t. What this production rule says, since the non-terminals are one and the same, in order to differentiate that, this is known as t and this is being called with the subscript 1. So how do I write this? T dot value, the value of t is nothing but t1 dot value into f dot value. Okay, let us move on to the previous rule. E dot value is nothing but the value of t. So in the previous rule, E dot value, in this case it is nothing but E1 dot value plus T dot value. Okay, now we have come to the first rule. L takes the value from E. So the value of E is being assigned to the L, the root node of the parse tree. These are known as the semantic rules. Observe each and every semantic rule. There is a non-terminal and the non-terminal is further explained with the attribute. Yeah, in fact here also the attribute should come. This I'll write like this. The value of f is nothing but the lex value of the digit. This is the exact semantic rule for this. Right? So for every production rule, there is a rule associated, and for every variable or non-terminal, there is an attribute associated. So the context-free grammar plus these rules together is nothing but syntax-directed definition. Let me repeat once again. We are able to write the semantic rules with the help of the attributes. Alright? So every rule is nothing but the translation of the corresponding production rule. Every non-terminal is further explained with the attributes. So context-free grammar plus semantic rules together is STD. Okay. I said already there are two types of attributes. In this case or in this STD, the attribute is value. Right? I think you would have understood that. There are two types of attributes. One is synthesized attribute. Another one is inherited attribute. Synthesized attribute is an attribute which is defined for a non-terminal, okay, in the parse tree. But that non-terminal must be head of the production rule. For example, in this case, in this context-free grammar, we are able to define the synthesized attribute for F, T, E, L, etc. So we are able to define a synthesized attribute for a variable provided the variable must be the head of the production rule. Okay. An attribute at node n. Node means here we are referring to the parse tree. If it is defined in terms of the attribute values from the children of that node n and at n itself is also known as synthesized attribute. Just know the definition. We will understand all these things with further examples in my upcoming videos. Okay, now let us try to know what is inherited attribute. If an attribute is defined for a variable, I mean a non-terminal, but that non-terminal is present in the body of the production rule. In that case, we can call that attribute as inherited attribute. Okay, how do we calculate the inherited attribute? The inherited attribute is defined or can be calculated in terms of attribute values from a node, maybe its parent or n itself, or from its siblings. Synthesized attribute is calculated from its child nodes or from the node itself, whereas inherited attribute can be calculated from its parent node or that node itself or from its siblings. And some points which are to be remembered, I'll tell you here. All the terminals can have synthesized attribute but not inherited attribute. And attributes for the terminals can take lexical values, of course, which are supplied by the lexical analyzer. This video is just an introduction. In the upcoming videos, we see the example for more grammars and we will see what is STD in a better way. Thank you.